SUVs and crossovers are taking over the automotive landscape, and even manufacturers that traditionally only built saloons and coupes are jumping on that particular bandwagon. However, no one decreed that you couldn't infuse them with style, class, and dare I say, a generous helping of charm and charisma. The new Jaguar E-Pace is the second SUV from the famous British brand, now Indian-owned of course, and slots in just below the larger F-Pace, which has been something of a hit in our region. But even more so than its bigger brother, the E-Pace seeks to shake things up, present a youthful and more fun image, and lure a whole bunch of new buyers to the Jaguar brand. In fact, they reckon that 80% of buyers will be new to Jaguar. I'll tell you what, let's pull over and take a closer look at it. Despite its compact dimensions, it's got a sporty and quite a muscular stance, a bit like the baby cub that's depicted in the graphic that's here on the windscreen. That's just Jaguar having a bit of fun. And in fact, the mother and baby graphic is supposed to illustrate the fact that this is a great car to take your own cubs around in. At the front, you've got a very bold and perhaps an oversized grille that's designed to better pick up the light thanks to some 3D chamfering on the grille itself. And if you've got a car equipped with adaptive cruise control, then the front radar is actually hidden in the growler badge. How clever is that? The sharp flowing lines at the front of the car pull back from that confident face into the more flowing lines at the back, including this sort of sweeping roof line. The idea is to give it a bit more of a coupe profile at the back of the car. Now you might think that that compromises the luggage space in the rear passenger compartment, but in fact, cargo space is quite decent, and my 6'2" frame can fit in the back of this car. Let me show you inside the car. Get in! Let's start it up. So inside it's very Jaguar-like in the sense that the cockpit kind of wraps around you. It starts from this door panel, goes over the dash, and then comes back down to this grab handle over here. It's very upmarket, and there's lots of soft touch materials and cool touch satin finishes. I also like this Alcantara material on the roof lining as well. There's lots of clever little touches in here, including these 3 dials that operate the AC are said to be inspired by the classic Leica camera lens. On the HSC models you get a 12.3-inch full digital instrument panel, and all models come with this 10-inch center touch panel here. Now with this panel you can do things like adjust your driving mode, so whichever mode you want to be in, but in addition to that you can do things like see how much brake pressure or throttle pressure you're applying, measure the G-forces you're pulling, or even time your laps. Well, I'm not going to be setting any lap records, but I do think it's time to take this for a drive. Under the bonnet, there's a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine producing 250 brake horsepower, and that's good enough to see it accelerate from standstill to 100 km/h in just 7 seconds, and to go onto a top speed of 230 km/h. It drives all 4 wheels through a 9-speed automatic. Now I say that, but the E-Pace actually has active driveline, which is a Jaguar first. And what that does, it can vary the power between the front and the rear. So you can go full front-wheel drive if you're looking for sort of an efficient cruise on the motorway, or if you're driving a bit more sportily, if you like, you can go full rear-wheel drive. And of course, it does all-wheel drive as well, not just for off-roading, but for example, if you're encountering slippery conditions, or when you need more traction, for example, if you're accelerating hard or cornering hard. Now, ride quality has always been very important to Jaguar, and this thing has got active dynamic suspension. And what that means is that it basically can recalculate the suspension settings every 10 milliseconds. And it can adjust them between soft and compliant for when you're just cruising along, to firming it up and tightening up when you really want to throw the car around. That's in order to keep it stable and make sure it has a flat ride through the corners. Basically what that means is that you can drive calmly to the schools and shops when you need to, or drive it like a sports car when you want to. Performance is good, grip is solid, handling is pretty dynamic, and overall, it's a very satisfying car to drive. But don't take my word for it. Go down to a local dealer and take one for a test drive. I have to say though, as a lifelong Jaguar saloon fan myself, I'm almost converted. Oh, auto trivia time, guys. What world record did the Jaguar E-Pace set at its launch? You go figure that out. Meantime, I've got to go back to the showroom and talk to the Jaguar Altair representative a little bit more about this car. I'm here with Awais Dungeka, who is the brand training manager for Jaguar here at Altair Motors. Hey, good to see you again, buddy.
Same here, Shazad. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing? You good?
Good. Excellent.
Now, the SUV crossover segment is kind of a new arena for Jaguar to be in. With this new E-Pace, how do you think it's going to be received in the UAE market?
Well, so far it's been received very well here in the UAE. It's the first compact SUV for Jaguar, the E-Pace. But with the looks and the agility, on top of it, once you put your foot on the accelerator, the performance which comes out of this car, and to add to it, the practicality element with the good load space, on top of it, the host of storage options inside the car. So that makes it a very good package. So the overall perception of the E-Pace has been very good.
It's interesting that you talk about perceptions, because I want to ask you about that. Do you think that the F-Pace and the E-Pace, these new SUVs, are sort of changing the brand perception when it comes to Jaguar?
Yes, absolutely. Both the E-Pace and F-Pace are both very progressive and breakthrough products for Jaguar. In fact, they've laid the foundations for the new lifestyle pillar for the brand. You know, when we talk about the lifestyle pillar for Jaguar, these are all the models which end with pace, so the E-Pace, the F-Pace.
And more paces to come.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, they're setting the pace for the future.
Oh, there you go. Brilliant.
Of the brand.
I think that's a great note to end it on. Thanks so much for that.
My pleasure.
See you again soon. Back to the auto trivia. Earlier I asked, what world record did the Jaguar E-Pace set at its launch? Well, it performed an incredible 270-degree barrel roll jump at the London Excel Centre, driven by precision stunt driver Terry Grant. Now, being a Londoner myself, I think I should also go and give this a try. In the meantime, check us out, Autocrats ME, at all of these addresses below. That's also where you can send your comments, suggestions and questions. In the meantime, if I return in one piece, I'll see you in the next episode. So for me, it's over and, well, over.